Yes, I think everybody can be their baseline of healthy in their body, no matter what their size is.
Going off what you said, something that I've always said to all of my clients, especially with social media.
What is she coaching?
And people sharing what I eat in a day, like those types of videos I feel can be very damaging, because you can do exactly the same workouts as someone, eat exactly the same food, have exactly the same amount of water intake, sleep intake, and you would look completely different.
That, I hate when people use that as a gotcha. That's like the most obvious thing. Yes, if Philip and I eat the same thing, drink the same thing, do this, obviously we would look different. We are different people. This is why your TDEE exists. This is why you have to calculate your TDEE for yourself. Everyone has different needs. Yeah.
You could have exactly the same fitness, wellness schedule as them, and you would not look the same.
Or anyone else here a personal trainer or a fitness trainer? Yeah, when you hear Jessica saying that she's tried, she's done what she could, what are your thoughts? Like, what's going on in your head? Because I know that the way you see things is very different than the person going through it.
Yeah. So one of my things that I work with my clients primarily on is, what is your goal, one, and then also helping reframe that from aesthetic to something else. So a big part of what I do is reframe people to have more of a strength goal and fall in love with the process more. I think a big difference also is when I talk to all my gym friends, we love it. We go because we love it. And a lot of people that don't have that routine, a lot of the time struggle with understanding, like, why do you love it? Like, it's a chore, it's effort, it's hard, and it is, it's not easy. But for some reason, we love doing it. And so big part of...
Not everyone loves doing it, though. Like, there's a ton of people who show up to the gym because they know that's what they have to do. So no, not everyone loves going to the gym.
That is the reframing. And also what is realistic for you and your day-to-day and what is accessible to you. Those are all super, super important, and it is completely different for everyone.
But do you think, like, actually, you can do it? Actually, it is possible. Even if she's saying, I've tried. It didn't work.
Yeah, there's a lot of things too. I always ask for blood work as well, because there's a lot of hormonal things. People can have, there's lots of medical factors too. But yeah, different for so many people.
I love what she said. I would ask if someone told me they've done everything they could do to reach a certain...
The thing about people saying, I have done everything, you may, and this might hurt some feelings, but you may have done everything, you just did not do it consistently or long enough.
Certain goal and they haven't did that. I would have them write on a paper everything they did, because 9 times out of 10, they didn't have the education, they didn't have the coaching, they didn't have the training, they didn't have the background. So there's a lot of things that they didn't even know existed. So it's not diminishing the person saying, no, you didn't do everything. No, it's just saying, hey, there's all these other factors available, all this other knowledge available. Did you get a degree in exercise science? If you didn't, there's possibility that you could have been doing some things that were actually damaging you and keeping you out of gym, because now...
I don't think people not having a degree in exercise science is keeping them fat. I don't.
Now you overworked yourself, you overtrained yourself, and now you're injured. So now you don't want to go back because you actually injured yourself. You didn't just get the training for the muscle, you hurt yourself. And then
I think most people are not overtraining either.
with nutrition especially, we're dealing with preferences. So if you have a preference for high sugar, high fat food, and then now you have to tell yourself no, yeah, that could seem impossible, but it's really not. It's really not impossible. It is a choice. It's not your parents anymore, especially if you're over 18. It's not anything that, and things have happened to me in my life, and there are factors outside of my control, such as the grocery store being a certain distance, or I have to travel. I work full-time outside of fitness, but I get up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever it is, because I'm driven. And I do have mental health. So I have a mental health type of background within myself that when I want to do something, I do it. I have heartbreak, I have breakups, I had to take care of other people's kids. I don't have kids personally, but I've had to look over kids. I've had to be responsible for other people's responsibility. I personally could do it. And so I think that other people, if they reframe their mindset, could do it if they truly found out what their why was. Do they want to be healthy? Do they want to be this type of healthy? Or do they have a different version of healthy? Because really it's in our mind. What do we think we want to do with our life or not?
I would say blood work, definitely. Can I ask how old you are?
I would just like to clarify that that was not my statement. I'm not in the pursuit of a smaller body right now. I am a fitness professional. I'm a gym person also. It's not like I was heavily dieted from childhood, right? At some point well into adulthood, not at 18, but well into adulthood, I reframed my relationship with the way I eat and the way I move. And I lost a significant amount of weight. I am still a fat woman in a large body. I'm the best shape I've ever been in, and I'm happy with that. So
it's not a good shape though. It's still an unhealthy shape. You can, whatever.
Oh, that's not for me.
Oh no, that's totally cool. Just
For a person who wanted to.
Yeah, it's a lot of women. It's thank God it's coming to the forefront right now, and that is our hormones play such a huge part. From the time you're 35, you're in perimenopause, and your cortisol levels. If you're not sleeping and you're stressed out of your mind and you've got kids and everything else is going on in your life, your cortisol levels are boom. And if you can't control those or get them under control, it will cause weight gain, no doubt. And I've seen, no matter what you do, man, it is 20 times harder to lose weight when your cortisol levels are high and your hormones are imbalanced. It's just a fact.
And that aside, our environment that we live in, the food that's available to us, the air that we breathe, like the water that we drink,
She's saying she's fat because of the air she breathes.
all these things impact our bodies. Like, we have this epidemic in this country, and when you go overseas, it's not always the same, and their lifestyles not that much different, but they're not eating the same food that we're eating. They have different environments that they live in, right? They might not be sitting in a car for 3 hours a day and things like that. So I think all of that is
These are just all excuses. I'm so over her. I'm actually over her.
contributing factor.
And I think it's also a contributing factor with women that actually are afraid to lift weights, because the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism, the more fat you're going to burn. But what happens is a lot of people go into the gym and they think, I'm going to go on the treadmill for 2 hours, and then I'm going to cut all my carbs, I'm going to cut all my sugar, I'm going to cut. They're actually at a worse level when they do all that. Because when you do that, you're not losing just fat, but you're losing the muscle you have on your body. And that muscle we need. That muscle, I can sit here right now and I'm burning calories because of the fact of how much muscle I have on my body. I can eat pretty much anything I want now. I say now, okay? Not a long time ago, but that's what a lot of women don't want to do. They're like, I don't.
It also keeps you safer if you get diagnosed with cancer. Your likelihood of surviving is a lot higher the more muscle mass that you have. It also, your risk of dementia also goes down the more muscle mass that you have.
I want to get big, I don't want to lift weights. When in fact, if they just put a little muscle on their body, they actually can eat more and they're going to lose more body fat.
And you look better, by the way. If you have more muscle on your body, you get that toned look. You can't tone a muscle. You can only gain muscle or lose muscle. You cannot make it longer. You cannot tone it. That toned look that people talk about is having enough muscle mass plus a low enough body fat percentage to see that muscle underneath.
It goes hand in hand. And I think so it comes down to like a lot of the education.
So the next prompt is, I have struggled in my dating history because of my size.
No, I have never.
No. Okay, anyone can speak on that.
I guess because I was like the only green, I would say in the sense that like I've come across, not that I have had trouble with like finding men that are interested in me. I like men, by the way. Make that point.
Why did you need to make that point?
Well, because I often get people assume other things, you know.
What, you're gay?
Yeah.
I'm gay. Who cares?
Nothing. There's nothing.
cares?
Because of how men treat me. But that's what I'm saying. Like, men fetishize me because of my size, and I've experienced that. I've received a lot of like backhanded compliments, like, "Oh, you have a pretty face," and that's where they cut it off. And I'm like, okay, so you're looking at my face, but you're not accepting all of me. So you want a part of me for what?
So people just are not attracted to fat bodies.
For your lust, for your satisfaction. And then there's also like, oh, you're so beautiful, but do you have a sister? Like, the amount of things that men have said to me pushes me back sometimes, but I'm so thankful that I'm sure of myself, because I can only imagine the millions of other women going through the same stuff I've experienced, or probably even worse. So yeah,
So they liked how you looked, but they wanted a skinnier
yes,
version.
and also I've experienced seeing men that like want to talk to me in private, but if we're in public, like, you don't want to be seen that you're talking to me because I'm not like the baddie, and it's like, I don't even want to talk to you at that point, like, because you're showing yourself. And most of these people do show who they are, and I think like, I've felt like some people think that I'm gonna tolerate because I'm desperate, because I'm a bigger body, but I'm like, baby, I got plenty of offers. I'm not deprived over here.
That's a common, what you shared is actually really common.
Yeah, it's very, very common.
Anyone else want to share? Just
At least with me, I'm bisexual.
I think it's very strange. I'm not saying any of these women are doing it, but it happens a lot in these conversations when the women are bigger, saying, oh, I have lots of men that want to fuck me. I have lots of men that want to have sex with me. Sweetie, men will have sex with, like, a pie. Like, they will put their pinors in almost anything. It's not something necessarily to be proud of. Like, they'll do anything. It doesn't make you more or less valuable.
So I have been fantasized or fetishized by men multiple times. I get approached by men that find out that because they think that because you are bisexual, you're easier access to having threesomes and doing all these kinds of stuff, which I'm not gonna lie, my sexual life is very separate from my weight. And the times that I was able to be with someone, it was because we connected. A lot of the times I got approached because they like my friend. Oh, let me get your friend's phone number. But eventually we became friends, they get to know me, and they fall in love with the personality rather than what you look like. So I don't want to say I struggled with it because it would be a lie. I have been told, oh, I don't think you're my type. I don't take it the wrong way because everybody has a different taste. But I've never really been in the point where I say, oh my God, maybe in high school, but I don't care about high school no more. But now at this older age, I've never really said, oh, I like this guy and I feel so bad because he didn't like me. But I know that other women can feel that. Other women can feel like if you're not beautiful enough, the guy's not gonna like you. And you can get a guy to like you by confidence. A guy sometimes just wants you to listen to them, be there for them, just as much as you want somebody to be there for you. But it is not easy to find a perfect man, as it is not easy to find a perfect woman.
How do you know
Yeah, no one's perfect.
when you're being fetishized? Like if you just meet a guy and he seems into you, how do you know? Like do you ever have something within you that says, okay, does he just think I'm easy? Does he just want me behind closed doors? Like how do you know? Is it something that comes later that you find out their true intentions?
I'm very bubbly and I'm very talkative with like guys and stuff. So it's very easy for them to come and tell me because I don't get offended. Like if they ask me, I don't get offended. But if they're like disrespecting me, if they want to start touching and stuff, then that's where I mark a line. But if you're asking me about something sexual, I'm not going to get offended, at least in me. So, sometimes it's just a conversation that we have.
I think when people are involving in fetish, whatever that may be, they get into this place where they're just kind of giddy and weird. Like we can all experience being around really excited men and how gross it is when you're not also really excited with them. It's very creepy. So you just get that, it's like the hairs in the back of your neck stick up. And I know right away, right? Like most of us that are in tune know, I think each and every single one of us
I think that's just a men thing.
can relate to being fetishized for one reason or another. And you just know it's disingenuine.
It's like creepy and like, or I've even had men tell me like, oh, I love BBWs, or like, and it's like, that's crazy. Or I know I've been fetishized because I have another friend who's also like curvy. So when her and I are out together, it's just like the attention is just kind of like, in LA, people are thirsty. So I've had men come up to us and be like, oh, you guys would make a lot of money on OnlyFans. Or I've even had men tell me that I look like porn stars. Men that I've actually like dated, oh, you kind of look like this porn star. And when
If you can name porn stars that are not like the top, 3 that are known by everyone, you have issues. That's crazy.
it tells me, like, they tell me that, I'm just like, oh, this is a fetish fantasy thing for you. I'm a real person besides that. And I'm like you, like, I appreciate depth. Don't look at me for my physical. I have so much more things that are far more interesting to me than my...
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Just wanting to date someone based off of how their body looks is very, if that's the only thing, that's very strange.
my physical.
I would like to add, you reminded me of something. I think that when somebody is fetishizing you, it's usually a secret. Usually not outside talking about the things that we fetishize, it's usually like behind closed doors. So somebody's gonna wanna keep you hidden. They're not gonna necessarily wanna take you out on a date. Come over, let's watch Netflix. I'm making spaghetti, come over, put your hood on when you come into the gate, stuff like that.
Right, it's painful. On this side, ladies, have you ever had any experiences with being approached for dating and feeling like maybe you're a little too intimidating, or your size becomes a factor because of how fit you are and just how you carry yourself?
I think for me, I'm not, all of these folks here compete like on stage. I was a powerlifter and I do jiu-jitsu. So for me, it was more a strength element. So it was more of they would be intimidated because they can't lift as much as I can. But then they show, like you said previously, they show themselves, If that is an insecurity of yours, if that is something that is intimidating to you, that tells me something about you as a person. So great, thank you for showing me yourself, So that.
I was curious about what fitness realm she was in, because the other two, you can tell they're bodybuilders, but she says powerlifting. That makes sense. She looks like a powerlifter.
Not so much
And that's not a bad thing, by the way. Like, not at all.
physical aesthetic element gym-wise, but
You haven't heard much from the second woman here.
the insecurity that it comes with, I think.
I've been flat out, men and women come up to me and tell me, don't get too muscular. You're getting close. You still look feminine, but just a little more and you're done. Or I have women say, I want to work out. Like, can you give me some tips? But I just don't want shoulders like you. It's a little manly. So I
hate that so much. Like, oh, I want to work out, but I don't want to look like you. Like, you couldn't look like this even if you tried. Like, that's such a slap in the face to her, because she puts in so much work. Like, you don't get this way by accident. You don't get this way by lifting 5-pound dumbbells. No.
Definitely had guys come up to me and say that. I don't really allow it to like make me feel bad anymore. In high school I did, as somebody else mentioned high school. In high school I was hiding my shoulders. I would hide that because I did not
I love her shoulders. I want her shoulders.
want any, but it didn't mess up my dating life. I feel like there was still a privilege there, the skinny privilege, whatever it is, because I was considered skinny. So I still had dates. But I seen my friends that were bigger get treated differently. I seen them not get drinks at the bar. I seen, like, literally, I would go and get drinks and then give them to other people. And not that I think I'm all that, but whoever that was at bottom did. And then, as I'm in the bodybuilding world, I do this because I love this type of body. I absolutely love the way that I look. And so when people come up to me and say those comments, they never have the body I want or I desire in my mate or in myself. It's not attractive to me. So
Yeah, never take criticism from someone you wouldn't trade lives with.
no longer does it faze me because I'm like, I really wouldn't want to look like you either. So congratulations.
Has it happened the other way around where, sometimes in the fitness community, people tend to date people who are also fit because they like the fact that you share that common interest? Have you ever had like the pressure of maybe your body changing a bit and then the person you're with not feeling as attracted to you because you don't have that physique that you used to carry? Has that been an issue?
Not that specific situation, but I feel like when I started getting more serious in my fitness journey and I started looking better, like I was reaping the benefits of working out, with past partners, they would start to get intimidated. They didn't want me to feel how I looked, or they didn't like that I was gaining more confidence. So that's what I've experienced.
And the final question, ladies, is I would not want to change my size.
I would not want to change my size. I would change my size in regards to like being more muscular. I want bigger shoulders and bigger quads and a bigger back. I would change that. And I want bigger boobs. I'm gonna get a boob job.
Okay. Well, I would love to hear from you.
I don't know, I was going to say for the first time in my life, I'm actually happy with my body, which is very rare. I mean, again, like I said, I'm a little older, but from the time I was competing, I started out when I was 25 competing, and then all the way through Gladiators, and then even coming out, I always found something wrong, with my body. This was too small, or that was too big, or I was constantly trying to change it. Now I'm standing next to, and my fitness journey and my line of work, I'm standing next to girls that are 29 and 39, and their abs are shredded, and they're just pumped, and I'm older, my body has changed. I don't have that tight that I want. So again, I'm still wanting. Don't get me wrong, I'm still wanting, but I realize I've finally come to the conclusion, I'm never gonna be as fit as I am today, right now, and to be happy with it. So I'm finally content with where I'm at right now, and it takes a while. I'll be honest, it's a journey. It's a journey.
Do you ever look back at your pictures? I know sometimes this happens with people where they'll look back and they'll say, actually, I used to look really good.
Oh my God, all the time. I look at my photos when I was bodybuilding and I was competing, and I was shredded. I could wear that G-string on the beach with confidence, but yet there was that little piece of skin up underneath my butt that would not go away. You know what I'm talking about? And I was so conscious of it. It was just your mind. We're so bad. We are our own worst critic. So yeah, I can honestly say now, finally, just to relax and go, oh my God, just let me enjoy the way my body looks right now. So
I do. I feel that's like how I am right now. Like I'm just at peace.
But it takes time. But yes, I was there. I look back on photos and go, what was I thinking? I was in amazing shape. And I get mad at myself that I didn't enjoy it. That's why I guess I'm saying I'm enjoying it now.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, she looks freaking phenomenal.
I love what she said, because I want to, in my eyes, I want to age gracefully. That means to me what loving myself. Like that for me is being graceful. Loving myself the way that I look from here into like the future. I did put, if I'm not wrong, I put the red one, just because I feel like there's much more that I can bring to myself. I can change so many things, and I want to be able to do all these things because I want to travel still. I am a little bit over my 30, and I don't have kids, but there's definitely things that I want to do, and I don't want to miss out on them. And if that takes me doing a little bit of exercise, maybe in the past I didn't have the chance to, but now I have it. I'm not trying to change it.
It's not just exercise, though. You need to change the way you eat. You will not exercise your way into health.
For being in bodybuilding, like I said, I respect you guys because it's a commitment, but I do want to do it to be in a healthier side for me because my body's requesting it to myself. So You know, I respect everybody who's trying to do something better for themselves, even if it's not weight, even if it's making your
I
dreams.
can already tell she's not going to do anything just based off the language she's using. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I should do this, I should do that. Wanting to do something, knowing you should do it, you're not doing the thing. It's like thinking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Talking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Brainstorming about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Planning on doing the thing is not doing the thing. Reading about doing the thing is not doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is actually doing the thing. You don't need to sit here and plan out your next 4 weeks of workouts and what you're going to eat. No, just get up and go for a walk. Grab a banana instead of your chips. That's doing the thing. Those are the actions you need to take actions instead of just talking about it, thinking about it, researching about it. No, just go do it.
Things come true, you know.
Like, I have a friend who he's been talking about wanting to start lifting for the last 5 years. Oh, well, when this happens, I'll do it. Oh, when this happens, I'll do it. I'll wait till this date. I'll wait for this. I'll wait for that. He hasn't done it.
Mad respect to everybody who's trying, because it's not easy to work with that.
I mean, I definitely want to change my body, but there's things that you want to change about yourself and you don't want to change that everyone goes through. There's certain things that everyone wants to change, and I'm going through that change. I was on many things where we talk to people and we're talking about mental health and body image, and since those collaborations, I've lost 20 pounds. So I'm getting to a point where I'm feeling very happy in my body. To say that I don't want to change my body, it just wouldn't be true for myself, because I want to change my body and be more healthy. And if being more healthy, I still look the same, okay. But if being...
That's the thing, though. If you are adopting healthier habits and doing things that healthy people do, you will lose weight. You will, automatically. Because you won't be eating as much food as you do, you won't be drinking the drinks that you do, you won't be using the sauces that you do, you'll be walking a little bit more, you'll be sleeping at a normal time, getting 8 hours of sleep or whatever. All of these things combined, you will be losing weight. You will be in a smaller body.
More healthy, like scientifically more healthy. Doctors consider myself more healthy. I want to get to that point where I go to the doctors and I'm not feeling shame for stepping on the scale or for getting that blood work done and them telling me, oh, this needs to be changed. But I'm getting to that point and I'm very happy with that and just super blessed. So.
I think I was like 50-50 because I don't necessarily want to change in the sense where I'm like, I want to be small because I know I can never be like a size 8 or a size 6. And that's something that...
Yes, she could. She could. Absolutely.
Like, I had to be real with myself. Like, you can't try to be the body that other people have. Like, you got blessed with like bigger hips. Like, that's what my grandma, my mom, like, that's how they're built. But since
There are plenty of women with bigger hips who are still lean. Like, she could be a size 8 if she wanted to, or even a size 6 if she wanted to. She definitely could.
Been like exercising, like how you guys talked about how you learned how you can really change your body. I've been realizing like my body composition has been changing, and it's like an actual art of like sculpting yourself. And that's like so mind blowing because I'm not gonna lie, I used to have the mindset of like, it's my genetics, I can't ever change. But in the last couple of months when I've been switching it up, hiking, doing yoga, I have a different connection with my body and an appreciation that it's like, these hikes used to be so hard for me. Now I can get up the mountain, and I'm even more inspired because I see these 80-year-olds hiking up the mountain too. And I wanna be that 80-year-old.
You're not gonna be 80 years old when you're obese, though. You won't make it that long. You just won't.
When I get older, I don't want to be the 80-year-old sitting in the hospital bed sick because I didn't move my body, because I was like over like giving into my vices, the things that I know aren't really nourishing my body or fueling my body. So I guess in that sense, I just want to keep changing and being like more knowledgeable, present, stronger, and like improving my life quality.
Yeah, I think we can all relate on you can be happy with where you are physically, but still want to change certain aspects of it. Those aren't mutually exclusive. And I think we can all kind of relate to that.
That's actually what I was going to say. I have loved myself since I got out of high school. I tell you, high school is hard. It's like because you're feeling the hormonal pressure of wanting to be accepted for mating at the base level, right? But I really do feel like with bodybuilding, because that is my goal, that is my dream to come true, like I do have to be a lot harder and tougher on myself because I'm trying to fit in a division and I'm trying to master, I'm trying to be Miss Olympia for real. I'm trying to be an IFBB pro for real. And so that is my goal. So I am very hard on myself, but I do love myself in the midst of that. But I am trying to change. And then I want to see, I kind of fell in love with the process of the artist with the sculpt. And I'm like, oh, I can do this. I can make my bicep peak look like this. And once you do that, it's kind of like you're falling in love with the journey. You're still in love with yourself, but you're just, what could I do this? What could I do that? So it's not, I hate myself, so I cut myself. I'm just like, ooh, what else is in these jeans? Oh, I can pull out a shoulder.
Yeah, you will never hate yourself into a healthy body, ever.
I can pull out a deltoid. I can pull out this. And then, once I'm done with that, I can be at a healthy balance. I'm happy with my butt because the butt is a big issue. So, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, I love this panel because I love the way that you guys are phrasing stuff. Like, it's really beautiful because I've been in other episodes in where we've shared kind of the same message, and not everybody thinks the same. Not the other people on the other side are able to communicate the way that
She would not want me on this panel. She would not want me.
you guys are communicating to plus people, because I got a little more encouraged into wanting to do different kind of workouts for my health. Like I said, to each its own, to each is everybody. But for me, since my body is requesting me to change it up a little bit, I take that in consideration a lot, and I do appreciate that because I want to be better, healthier. And like, you look 61, you said? Wow.
62.
You look great. You look
60,
great.
wait, 62 in 4 days.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
I wouldn't have guessed she was turning 62 at all. And that's the thing, when you take care of yourself, you age gracefully. You do not age gracefully when you are obese. You just don't.
Hey, happy birthday.
I hate it. Hate the age. Hate the age.
Just a number.
I do have one.
And I wish I hope to look like that when I'm 62. I need to make my arms a little bit bigger.
Question for the ladies who unfortunately did suffer with the physical and sexual that happened in your life. How did you heal that disconnection with your body?
When I was molested, I was
And sexual in your life. How did you heal that disconnection with your
heal?
body?
when I
Therapy. DBT and CPT. Dialectical behavioral therapy and cognitive processing therapy.
was 12, 13 years old, and it was a situation in where my parents have always been very open about sexuality with me since I was like 8, 9. So I understood that my body was my own personal body and that I couldn't let anybody else touch it. So when I encountered that situation, I understood that what was going on wasn't necessarily my fault, but if I could fight to help myself get out of the situation, I did do what I had to do at that moment to save myself. But eventually, like I said, I sat down with my parents, I explained what was going on, we found a solution to what was going on. But I understood from the start that it wasn't necessarily me who was causing the action. It was the other person who was, I don't know, in their state of mind, not in a good place. So within the years passing by, because of my connection with sexuality, I understood that I couldn't relate both things together. It wasn't gonna be my weight that caused me getting sexually assaulted, and it wasn't me as a woman getting sexually assaulted. So I think that's what kind of like we're trying to ask, like, what did you do? I have my parents that I relied on a lot, my family.
Good. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
I think everyone's experience, if you have experienced sexual assault, it's different for everyone. When I was sexually assaulted, I was 7 years old by another child. So it's child on child. And it's an experience that not a lot of people talk about. And I felt so much shame because it had happened to me. And my parents had taught me, oh, no one touches you there. You don't do that. So I knew at some level, but because it was happening with another child my own age, and I was confused because it was my sexual assault that had happened to me. It was manipulated in a way that made me very confused as, oh, wait, what? We're playing a game, but this is happening. And I was taught that you don't do that. So for me, it was like the shame of knowing it was wrong, but also being confused because we were playing a game. And that, and it growing, because I was sexually assaulted multiple times throughout my childhood by this person that was my friend. She was my best friend. And understanding now, like the way that I coped was through the food. And growing out of that, I spoke to my family. Finally, I spoke to my family like 4 years ago about what had happened to me and opened up about it. And really like getting that relief from them saying, I didn't know this was happening to you. I'm so sorry. I would have never said this, this, and that. And if I would have known, we would have gotten you this, we would have gotten you that. And then going to therapy too was such a big help in helping me love my body again and love who I am as a person, because it wasn't my fault. And with child and child sexual assault, you can't blame the other child too, because there's something that is happening on both ends. Like, it's an assault on them that probably happened with another person, and you had to learn a lot about that in therapy, with me especially, because I put so much blame on myself and then also on them. But in therapy, they were saying, well, think about it, they were a child too. Maybe they went through something like that too, and they're just expressing the only thing that they know as play. But therapy was such a big thing for me, and it helped me so much, and then having that support system.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for being here and sharing your stories and your vulnerabilities. I'm so grateful that you were here, and I hope that all of you watching at home were able to take something from this episode. Please share in the comments below anything that you want to share, and until next time, have a wonderful day.
Oh my God, I was holding that up.
All right. That was a lot. I've been recording for 157 minutes. It's going to be very fun to edit, but that's okay. I do it for you guys. I don't know if this will be 1 or 2 videos. I don't know. I feel like 157 minutes is a long time to post for one video. If you made it this far, thank you. Wow, you are a rock star. Thank you so much for being here. If you are not subscribed already, please do. Check out my channel memberships if that interests you. And let me know your thoughts below. If you agree with what I say, if you disagree, totally fine. I'm not right about everything. I can readily admit when I'm not right about something, so totally fine. Thank you to all of our channel members. I will of course have the outro. And yeah, I think that is everything. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.